Okay, it's Thursday today and we're just getting ready. Everything is coming together beautifully. We've got the civil works happening here in the shed. We've got the trailers, SPMT trailers, doing their trial run just to see how they like the slope and the gradient, and they're very happy. The compaction's good. They are delighted. This is ANI's trailers. The Hallett group have completed this wonderful pit for us with the retaining wall started. Incredible job. Maritime Constructions have moved the barge along the wharf. It's all happening today. Well, it's now lunchtime and I went away left side for half an hour and the barge has been turned. So we're in position. They're doing a bit of fine tuning. They've got the hinged ramps in place which are going to accommodate any small differences in level. We've got the fenders looking good. We're ready to go just about. This afternoon we're going to ballast the barge, and then tomorrow at 8 o'clock we're going to bring the SPMTs on board at the right tide, one at a time, put them under the load, under the cradle, then we'll take the load a little bit and remove the other supports that it's been on for the last year, and then we'll be ready to go, ready for Sunday with one day up our sleeve.
Once again, I've managed to peg down Mr. Bob Nichols, the maintenance supervisor on the clip ship City of Adelaide project. We are near the tail end, and I'll hand you over to Bob and he can give us a update.
So as you can see from yesterday, we actually put the SPMTs on the barge, underneath the barge, preloaded the ship and moved the ship forward on the barge, ready for offloading on Sunday, which is tomorrow. We've been dead lucky with the weather. We hadn't had rain for 6 months, but yesterday we had this rain band went through that had flash flooding all over Adelaide, but we haven't fared too bad down here. The sun's out today, and today we're doing the final touches, just preparing the pit to offload the ship on. So as you can probably see down here, we've got the drum supports all lined up ready to go, and timber packers on those. Got another lot of pedestals to put down the keel line, and then the SPMTs will drive down in here, lower the ship down onto our supports and drive out. As simple as that.
So once the SPMTs have dropped their load, the cradle's still got its own jacks there. You'll have to use them to lower it down?
That's right. The 100-ton jacks that we use to jack the ship up are still under the cradle. We have 8 100-ton jacks under there. The load of the ship is 585 tonne, and once we offload the ship, we call this part settling down, and the next project, which will be in a few months' time, is jacking down. So we put it down on top of these supports first, and then in a few months' time we'll be jacking down. After the SPMTs are gone, we'll be jacking down to its final height, and that's where it's going to stay forever.
So we're that close to the finishing touches now. It's been 10 years since it arrived, so it's quite more than just a milestone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big day for us tomorrow.
So yesterday was a brilliant day. We got the trailers on and we positioned them under the ship, and we raised the ship. We took the load, we knocked out the supports, our supports, and the load is now on the trailers, SPMTs. And then we moved forward about 20 metres to the start position. So she's ready to go. We've tried the trailers. The guys are very happy with everything that they did. Concrete decks performing beautifully. And behind the scenes, we've got these pumps. We've got 6 pumps. 2 are actually in reserve in case one breaks down, or 2, but these pumps are capable of at least 200 cubic metres an hour of pumping water through these massive hoses. And of course, behind the scenes there's a ballast plan for the barge. There's 27 compartments in the barge, and the naval architect Nick Carzo, who is a genius, has worked out that we have to put water in seven compartments at the bow and 4 at the stern in order to get the trim and the levels right, so that as the load passes, as the load moves on the deck, and then as it is slowly removed progressively from the barge, and the barge tries to respond as the load comes off, it will try to pop up. The tide is falling at the same time, and we're pumping at the same time. So there's a lot of synchronisation has to happen. And Nick has a schedule, step by step, axle by axle, of how it's to progress against the clock and against the tide. And tomorrow we're setting it up now in readiness for tomorrow, and then tomorrow at around 11 o'clock we'll put the plan into action and roll off. At the same time, Mark Pickard is putting the finishing touches on the landing ramp. Bit of water, it got a bit soft, so he's rolling 40mm rock into it to tighten it up. Big job, but that's just another thing he's done for us. Amazing. Saturday afternoon he's doing it, driving the grader himself.
Action. Well, good afternoon, Mark. Here we are.
Yes, again.
T minus 22 and a half hours. Yesterday's rain caused a bit of a headache. Over 20 mil of rain in some parts. Made some of our bases a bit flat, so we've had to bring in some quarry rock to be able to tighten up our bases ready for the ship mobiles, the Thunderbirds ship mobiles there to move the City of Adelaide back into a final resting place. It's a very exciting, Mark.
It's we're getting to the pointy end, and we could not have done it without this guy. His contribution is fantastic. And Mark, I don't know if you've looked over at the car park, but the Pickard family has got an area marked out and signposted for you.
Oh, lovely, thank you very much.
For tomorrow.
Now, my dad was an immigrant. He came over on a boat in the 40s, so he's going to be coming tomorrow. Whilst this boat here was 100 years before his time, it still signifies the contributions that migrants have made to our state, and henceforth why my interest is assisting all of the volunteers and Mark and his group to be able to get the City of Adelaide off of that barge where she's been resting for a number of years back into a final berth on land. So yeah, very exciting. Be a great day tomorrow.
It's going to be historic. Yeah. So thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
Everything you've done. Yeah,
right. Well
beautiful.
Done.
Thanks, Ed.
Cut.
I'm fortunate enough to have Simon from the ANI, and he's going to endeavour to explain a little bit more about what these machines are capable of. Over to you, Simon.
Thanks. So what we have today is we have a 30-line convoy setup. The SPMT's capacity is 70 tonnes per axle line. So we have 2 lines of 30. That's just over 4,000 tonnes that we of payload that we can take today. The clipper being around 600 tonnes. It should be easy work for the machines. Some of the critical challenges for us today is just manoeuvring through some of the landscape. So we have a few areas that are on the horizon that will be slightly challenging, but nothing that the machines can't handle. The most critical part is the barge transfer, so keeping the machines level to a point to maintain stability as we transfer from the barge is the most critical part, and then the first turn between the 2 buildings will be the second most critical part of the travel path. The rest should be fairly straightforward.
So distance-wise, roughly, you'd have a fairly good idea of the distance you're going to be travelling today. Roughly how long is that going to take?
I think the first part's going to be slow. So we've got the ballasting of the barge to counter the weight that's coming off. So we've got over 800 tonnes that are actually being removed from the barge. So slowly over time, that's where the ballasting will counter that. It'll take about an hour before we're actually off on the land. And I'd say probably another hour to get round and then land in the final location.
So you're looking best part of probably not much change out of 2 hours.
All going well, yeah.
Okay, here we are the day after the big move. We're in the process of re-establishing the site. There's a clean-up occurring of all the ramps we had to put in to move the trailers. That's very quickly occurring. A bit tricky. It's a big jump from the ground up to the first step at the moment, so we have to re-establish the stairs. That could occur today or tomorrow. Once we've got that in place, our own team can start going inside the ship. That means we can reconnect electricity and power generally. We can stand all our displays back up that we laid down so they wouldn't be damaged during the move.